Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dean, this time as well on Angoville, though with more experienced players. We shall be seeing our the Reign of Madness, Darealslimshady, fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 12th SS. Opposing him shall be Grolouragran. Jesus Christ, why couldn't he choose something simple? Nonetheless, here he is fighting for the British, fighting for the 1st Canadian Infantry Division. We're already seeing in the reconnaissance section sneaking up here on the western flank, probably where the trucks shall be heading first. To, of course, situate itself right here on some munitions point initially to, of course, ensure lots of great upgrades for the British infantry. Pioneers out, and note, he's actually not spamming pioneers. He's only going for 2 pioneers, in fact, but he's going for some infantry, some Volksgrenadiers out from the Wehrmacht quarters, and also focusing pretty heavily on these. He's probably figuring the British player will be going for the west, so he's going to focus rather initially on these, so of course securing as much territory right there. Not a bad idea, by the way. And there we go, the first unit out. Volksgrenadier squad. Infanterie sind klar. Few points being secured. Lieutenant also on the spot. And again, it tends to be the sort of usual sort of thing you actually see as the British. They get out the lieutenant, have a point secured, and by the time the point is secured, they move out the truck. The lieutenant's ready to also take points. Then they move forwards, and then they get an infantry section out. Already here, though, we are seeing the Volksgrenadiers coming under fire. A few shots from the Sten gun by the lieutenant. Truck apparently having a bit of indecision, but there we go, up and ready. Quickly taking over there for the recon section to move on. Volksgrenadiers actually pulling back, and we are seeing the pioneers actually laying down tank traps here to sort of ensure that no one can move through here. At least something British, probably a Bren carrier, to initially be delayed right there, and some action over here by the truck. Recon section moving in. Volksgrenadiers might want to be on the right side where they get the most cover out of things. But we are seeing a second Volksgrenadier squad moving in from another flank. And there we go, the recce section is retreating. While the Volksgrenadiers are moving up most swiftly. Another infantry section is moving out, thus quickly shifting things in the favour of the British. But also seeing an attempt at moving in the cut-off point, but quickly getting stopped by the infantry sections. Pioneers will need to retreat. Gets the devil out of there. And the Volksgrenadiers also pulling back, in fact. And we could, in fact, be seeing a move towards the cut-off point, but we are seeing the pioneers quickly rushing into the building to deny it to the British, thus giving the Volksgrenadiers time to arrive and take up some more solid defensive positions. The lieutenant is not joining up in the assault. He's over there enjoying a pipe and some tea, perhaps. Will the Volksgrenadiers take up position in the building? No, they won't step. No, wait, come on, make a decision, Slim Shady. There we go, one chap squad popping into the building and immediately opening up on the British. These chaps could move up here. There we go, one Brit dead, and they are quickly moving in towards the side again. They can't do so much with only one window. Still suffering minor losses. And we are seeing a sniper coming up for the Darealslimshady. That could work, certainly. Although if the reconnaissance section catches it, their things will certainly go awry. And there we go, actually taking some heavy losses as they are caught in front of the building. They can't really move forwards either, and the sniper simply makes things much more unpleasant. He might even try to get the lieutenant. Oh, the lieutenant is tough. That sweater is bulletproof. Or not. Volksgrenadiers keep holding on here, although one squad is quick to get out there. Rather depleted. Sniper keeps moving up. Gets another Brit. Poor Johnny. Shot through the head. Pulling back, and we are seeing an MG42 joining up here, and the Brits are continuing, though, not to be deterred by sniper fire. They are quick to set up a slit trench. Probably sort of watch over here, of course. And of course, keep this point. But at the same time, why not just use the building? I mean, they could essentially just pop into the building with a flamethrower and burn it right down into the trench, you know, from the first floor. And the Brits could just go, who the hell made this trench? Duffy. No, that's not nice to Duffy. What do you And apparently the Duffy they're talking about is actually the game lead for Company Pierce 2, so remember that. Whenever they're talking about someone smoking near fuel points, it's Quinn Duffy. Yes. Let's not be too unfriendly. But there we go, rifle grenades up again using the munitions point. We also seeing a field support truck moving up to the munitions, but there we go, rifle grenades up. Rifle grenades are in fact a pretty nasty weapon against Volksgrenadiers and other early infantry. In particular without veterans, you can easily end up losing a lot. Those rifle grenades are dynamite. Well, we are seeing the Wehrmacht making a push, Volksgrenadiers, and of course trying to catch the headquarters command truck and the troops around it out in the open. A nice move, sniper joining in as well. Although a very, very sneaky move out there. We are seeing, in fact, the infantry section is sort of hooking up behind. Why is he doing that? To catch the sniper on the retreat, probably. Of course, the sniper's yet to reveal himself, I think. But as soon as he does, of course, might even have done so, in fact, now. But the thing is, of course, if he has to retreat right past the reconnaissance section, which means they can get off a sniper's shot. And there we go, he's actually pulling back, and there we go, reconnaissance section moving in. And the Brits opening up from the other side. Rifle grenades flying awfully far. And there we go. Sniper discovered. And a miss move right there by Slimshady. He did not think about the retreat path of having it clear. And that cost him very dearly. Very nicely done right there by Grolouragran. Moving towards the east again to try and go for that cut-off point. Medic packs for the Volksgrenadiers. We're seeing a click bags going up, being swiftly worked on by both pioneer squads. Troops are reinforcing for the 12th SS, the Hitlerjugend. And there we go, the Rifle Grenadiers are there, although heavily wounded. A casualty station would be a nice move, I think, to provide a bit of healing even. Another trench again. Why not just use the building? Or at least, you know, perhaps place the trench a bit farther away from the house, which could house flamethrowers. Just an idea.
You're losing a sector.
Rifle Grenadiers suffer a bit and try to make it into the house. They do so, but again, they're flamethrowers. And the Rifle Grenadiers are simply getting scorched, and now the chaps in the trench are getting toast. Now, apparently they actually survive a bit. But there we go, getting into the house, and there we go, deleting the trench again. Just press delete a few times, kaboom, you get out of there, and you do not hand over a trench to the opponent. At the same time, though, we are seeing a Stuart light tank out, and Darealslimshady is not ready. He's about to get a Panzer, but he needs a pack as well. Stuart light tank rolls in, and it's rather close to getting some... Oh, cancer shot, but it doesn't really do much. This is something that can happen with a cancer shot. Sometimes it does unbelievably nasty damage. Other times it might as well have been firing confetti at the enemy. Happy birthday, hun. And then, of course, nothing. Otherwise, but still, Grenadiers moving in with a Panzer. In fact, getting dual Panzer already. He's rather keen on getting that light tank. Made by the Americans, although the Americans were rather keen on replacing it with the Chaffee, which actually had about a gun that had the same effectiveness as the Sherman's gun. Just, you know, it was faster and smaller, but also more lightly armoured. There we go, pack ready. Kampfkraft Center also on the way. Moving here, Rifle Grenadiers in. Note, he of course can fire over the hedges due to the fact that Rifle Grenades are firing out. And there we go, 2 down. Again, Rifle Grenades are very, very nasty. Very unpleasant. Not a fun weapon to be hit with. Granted, most weapons aren't. MG moving a bit too far, but quick again. And again, trenching. Digging in. Rather keen on the trenches. Pioneers into a bit of trouble. Lieutenant Wolowitz, I'm not sure. And looks like the Pioneer might actually escape. And note, he's using the pack tag to blow away this wall, thus allowing him, in fact, to shoot into this area without having to move the pack through of these rather narrow sort of paths. And again, note, in the trench. Rifle grenades, Pioneers with flamethrowers. Panzer though in the building. Panzer flies a bit too far. Stuart moves a bit too far. He should be aware that it's actually a pack. He must have seen this. Yet he's actually moving in the Stuart. This is definitely a mismove. And 2 Panzer rockets from the house. Main gun destroyed. And a Panzerfaust. Or was it a Panzer? Not sure, never mind. Anyways, Pioneers moving in, though they're suffering a bit. MG fire on the other chaps. Both are now in the trench, but we might... Oh, Bren guns up. Grenadiers forced away. The Brits are holding out. A rather desperate situation in the trench. Heavy fire, they are surviving most of it, but a bit more flamethrower fire, and they could in fact be dead. Rifle grenades flying too far. Lieutenant taking points, Captain also on the move. Grenadiers, Pioneers, veterans on the way for the infantry, so that is good. But I mean, rather note he's actually managed to secure several cut-off points, and again, while he's certainly doing some damage at the same time, he isn't really holding much of the map. And no, let's go in fact have a look at Grolouragran, who's getting the armor command truck. And he's actually using speed governors to quickly move it about. He doesn't want to wait, he wants his armor now. Damn it. Oh, Bren gun left behind. He could in fact be losing the Bren section, but oh, the rifle grenadiers snap it and get out of there. That's a bit unfortunate. I mean, it would have been great if the Germans could have secured themselves a light machine gun, but of course for the Brits that would have been less than amazing. Pack slowly advancing, but has to be careful again. It's a support weapon. It should not be at the front without support, without infantry. Full grenadiers moving up here, catching and sending the reconnaissance section away, and finally securing some territory again in the name of the fatherland. At the same time, again, note he's actually back got 2 high munitions points secure. That's an arseload of munitions. And it also looks like he's actually shifted the field support truck further down. He's actually got the increased resource acquisition upgrade, so he gets even more munitions out of this point. My goodness. He's definitely not lacking, and he's getting staghounds. The ever-dreaded staghound, and a Brit complaining that he should have been an engineer, but now we are seeing the casualty cleaning station up, and there we go, immediately using the first aid ability, thus ensuring healing for everyone, including the lieutenant, who is rather wounded. While the left bullet sweater is... the sweater is sort of bulletproof, it's not also healing. But there we go, Staghound moving in, forcing the Pioneers away. Another pack could be a nice idea to cover this area as well. Germans advancing up here. Some mines here would actually be a good move. I mean, note the British player continues to charge in, and I mean, a nice move from Slimshady would have been to mine here. But why could also work, and of course there's also this Stuart light tank to salvage for munitions. And there we go, Staghound rolling into town. While the Germans are doing their best to secure the right-hand side of the map, while the Brits are charging in force. Pack almost ready, in fact. Grenadiers moving in. There we go, Pack is ready. Panzerx flying. Brits charging in here. Pack caught off in a nasty position. Should have cleared a bit more there, and of course there's this... Ooh, MG though managed to cover a bit. We are seeing heroic charge though, ignoring things. Staghound has been forgotten. It has been forgotten. It's left right in front of the pack. So while he's doing all work here, and he's gone Royal Canadian Artillery. He's calling in Officer Artillery on the MG42, clearing out the crew. Staghound dead. Pack decrewed. Oh dear, this is absolutely carnage for both sides. Using flamethrower Pioneers to recruit the MG42. Grenadiers, full guns moving up. Going to try and cover the MG42 and perhaps secure it, but there's simply too many Brits with too many weapons. And the captain's hiding in the house, firing away with his Webley revolver as a nasty silhouette. And also slightly ineffective. We're seeing a second lieutenant out. This could in fact result in a nasty Brit blob. I mean, they try to sort of ensure that you don't get so much of an advantage, but still, it's largely there. They should have ensured there was no stacking at all, I'd say. Plus, of course, they actually also gave them veterans. Their veterancy bonus also damage reductions. I mean, again, there's just further strength in numbers, which again is a bit unfortunate. We are seeing a sniper out though. Getting one Brit. Grenadiers holding out veterancy 2. That's definitely going to help a bit against the Bren guns and rifle grenades. And the sniper has to be careful lest he fancies getting hit by a rogue grenade. And he's trying to take the pack away, but the sniper's definitely doing his best to sort of try and ensure they don't steal their anti-tank gun. Oh, he misses. And somehow manages to shoot someone else. That's quite a miss. Once more, the cut-off point has been secured. Again, a bit of mining, I think, really would have helped Slimshady, but we are now seeing the MG42 going up. no longer in the hands of the Wehrmacht. It is now being secured by the Canadian Infantry. Troops marching up here and quickly getting suppressed. Heavy machine gun fire. Captain taking heavy fire. Then, more artillery. Again, note. And that's rather the advantage again of all of these munitions points and the upgrade. Again, he's getting a ton of munitions every minute. I mean, he can actually much more regularly call in artillery. And of course, note, this is better artillery than what the Wehrmacht officer, for example, gets, which is more expensive and generally much more rubbish. I still don't get it why they didn't fix that. Oh well, hopefully officers in Company 2, which apparently are there, will be much more effective. MG, though, getting sent back. Medics trying to pick someone, but they're not quite succeeding. And there we go, the pack is now back at base. Going to get another Tommy to man the guns. Sturm Army on the way, and I think it would have been a nice move for Darealslimshady to actually get a medic bunker up to sort of try and help with his losses. It would rather give him a slight attritional advantage against the Brits, I would say. And also note, in Company 2 we will no longer be using the Pak 38, we will be using the Pak 40, the much more standard gun of the 1944 period, although it was still used by some divisions. We couldn't quite get enough. Pak 40 still much more effective, and again also this sort of largest gun that essentially still could be moved around by infantry without needing a tractor or anything like that, while finally going down for Slimshady. About damn time. More staghounds on the way. A bit of healing, and if he only had some sappers, but he, interestingly enough, doesn't have any sappers at all, which could repair this, and perhaps also set up a 25-pounder gun to help pound the Hun into submission. Staghound rolls in, pack moving up. A Sturmgeschütz would also be a nice move, I think, from the Storm Army to help deal with the Staghounds. Volkswagen is suffering a bit to the 50 caliber. Making it into the house, though, a bit suppressed. Pack sneaking up, Grenadiers moving in with the dual Panzerjacks. Leaving, and there we go, the Grenadiers going to take up position in the house. The Staghound actually can't quite get around without getting blasted a lot. Pack just needs to turn a bit, and the Staghound might of course try to flank about it. Oh dear, the Staghound is in trouble, and main gun destroyed. One more hit, fire frei. And there we go, another Staghound gone. Can also of course be salvaged for munitions, would be a nice move. Brits are charging in again, MG42 up in the house. Again, there's a lot of fighting for this cut-off point. Absolutely insane, the amount of fighting that's going on for the cut-off point. But at the same time, Britain knows if you can do that and hold it long enough, he can essentially steamroll his opponent. Armored car rolls in, and there's nothing really to damage it, actually. Grenadiers forced away, and he's actually going for another pack. Incredible. He's just lost another pack. He really needs to be careful with this anti-tank and of course ensure cover, but he doesn't have enough infantry. He doesn't have enough support units. He can't keep it covered. And now the armored car is actually buttoned down and getting hammered by the British crude pack. This is absolutely horrific. Panzerjacks are blasting away, and looks like the armored car managed to escape. And he might actually manage to decrew the pack, which is something. Rifle grenades, they're causing huge losses. I mean, 18 kills already. And of course 18 kills on the Bren guns as well. Of course the rifle grenades also have a Bren gun, so that probably also helped. But pack decrewed again. And he lost the Volkswagen section squad. Oh dear, I keep messing up, but none of this. And again, I think a medic bunker would have been absolutely amazing. Sniper somehow behind enemy lines, opening up. And they're actually trying to destroy the pack, just riddle it with enough bullets, and it falls apart. And it succeeds! Oh my goodness.
Germans are attacking our supply lines.
12th SS are in a large amount of trouble. Sniper, though, sniping away at those in the house. With the lieutenant left behind to actually help aim the gun, apparently. Though he seems more interested in a cup of tea from the kitchen. Currently, things are looking a bit unfriendly for the Germans. Another Volkswagen squad still alive, though. That's something. And the MD manages to escape. Hooray! If only they actually had that other pack moving up to support the assault, they might actually knocked out that armored car. Rather fortunate for Slimshady. Then Stu 42 arriving. Sturmhaubitze. Went from for the Germans, and again I think a medic bunker would have been nice. Points being secured. Falcons might be on a small raiding scouting mission. Note with veterancy 2. No, just there to wire off. Actually limited the movement of the Brits even further. That's nice. Very nice indeed, in fact. Firefly ready. That's going to prove a problem for the Stu 42 and the armoured car. Stu moving in. Points being secured. And a few grenadiers sneaking up. Ja, mein Herr. So a bit of quiet, and let's go have a look back at Darealslimshady as the British forces of the 1st Canadian Infantry Division are moving in. Stu 42 opens up, and a nice hit. MG 42 taking up a support position. In a smaller house, covering any infantry against German infantry. Artillery, though, getting called in. Interesting way he's doing it, though. Perhaps not where I would have recommended it. Seems a bit wasteful, in fact. Hack, though, and MG actually forces away all the German armor and infantry, and the armored car. Very nice. That medic pack for the sniper, who continues to try and clear out that MG 42. And the pack fires away in response. Why is the MG 42 not leaving? Get out of there, Tommy! And stormtroopers are arriving now with Panzerjets as well. No assault rifles for them. Kein Sturmgewehr, while the pioneers are running into a problem with some sappers who have actually finally arrived. And then proceeding to advance. Hooray. But at least some more infantry, again giving him 3 infantry squads. Sniping the Tommies, although again has to be careful. I think that MG-42 needs to get pulled back and reinforced. Ooh, Sam's getting caught right here with the armoured car. And run off. More artillery. Again, I think he might be trying to catch that sniper with it, but he's not quite succeeding. And looks like Grolouragran might have lost some of his nerve, actually. He's now being a lot more cautious, advancing much more slowly, not with the same sort of boldness he previously had. Granted, he's also been stopped a bit, and thankfully the Darealslimshady has been able to stop a bit more. Dual Panzerjets on the stormtroopers as well. Lots of dual Panzerjets. Infantry getting hammered with Stu's. He's probably going to try and sneak up the stormtroopers through all the fighting, keeping the rest occupied, and then hammer it in. Veterancy free for the lieutenant already. This is definitely dangerous, and he's got 3 of them. Bloody hell. Bits getting hammered with Stu fire. And there we go. Panzerjets hammering into the side of the Firefly, but looks like a... Oh dear, I think he might have lost something. I'm not sure what... Oh, he lost the sniper. Die Scharfschütze sind tot. Advancing, and there's only 3 lieutenants to actually stop the stormtroopers. Despite all the Sten guns, they're not going to do much against that many stormtroopers. Bundle grenade against the one inside the house. And he actually gets one of the lieutenants. That was actually a pretty weird move out there by Grolouragran. Captain sent running off as well. And Firefly managed to get out of there as well. Now the Staghound, small movements here. Another sniper on the way. I think he might want to get something else than just snipers. I'm not going to say they're completely useless, of course. Though a Stug would also be nice. He's actually getting a 2nd sniper. He's getting 2 snipers at the same time. A bit bold, a bit brazen. And the casualty station hasn't been able to pick up any wounded. Perhaps a 2nd one a bit closer to the front lines might do a bit. And of course a Staghound to be salvaged. Always salvage for munitions as the Wehrmacht if you can. Generally does help a lot. Sniper on survey. And expert repairs for the sappers. That is good. A bit of quiet though. Let's just speed this up a bit.
We're losing territory.
Moving in. And little fun fact, the British actually suffered a bit of problem in NCOs and officers junior officers at one stage, because they were suffering so much in terms of junior officers. They actually had to ask the Canadians to lend them some lieutenants to lead their own units, which had the interesting effect of the Germans actually believing there were Americans in their sector when they thought there were only Brits. So fun little fact there. And the Brits were actually lacking in junior officers and NCOs, basically sergeants, all that. So basically they tended to suffer more there because the lieutenants had to stand in for the sergeants, and without those they did have a bit of a tendency of actually just sort of digging in. So that was a bit of a problem for the Brits, and generally manpower issues were really high. In fact, they had to simply disband units which had suffered certain amounts of losses because they couldn't actually ensure replacements for them. So that way they basically just disbanded entire divisions and simply handed over the remainders to other divisions. There were lots of problems with manpower. And there we go. The MG went down to the snipers. Two snipers advancing like a pair of hunters whose prey is the British prey. Ooh, artillery going in, trying to catch those Brits. And we are in fact seeing a priest up, ready to deliver a sermon of high explosive caliber. Now, granted, the Commonwealth troops rather used the, I believe it was the bishop or was the deacon, something also with rather religious overtones, but with the 25 powder gun rather than the 105mm howitzer the priest had, which actually was an American self-propelled artillery piece. Veterans on the way for the German infantry support units, in fact. Sturminfanterie here. And they're going to get run off. A large British sweep moving in, might be trying to hit the base. I mean, again, there's a large gap right here. So in essence, he could actually walk straight into here, and particularly if he actually got some sappers with demo charges, he could actually do a lot of damage to the German base. But rather interesting enough, Grolouragran actually is rather unwilling to march right into the German base. Interesting. 3 snipers, that's... I think that might be going a bit too far. 1 sniper too far, in fact. A bit too sniper spamming for my like. Though of course he might end up finding himself punished for such sins. Stagger moving in, opening up. So German infantry is forced back without losses though, which I'm sure the 12th SS is quite happy about. Granted, they did, an SS division generally had more infantry than any other sort of regular army division, since they didn't suffer under the same rules back then, when the Germans rather realized they wouldn't have enough to actually continue the original of 3 battalions per regiment back from, you know, 1940 and 39 due to losses on the Eastern Front during 1941. But the SS were not subjected to those, alongside also the static divisions, but there were some other bits there. And they also had a slight other different advantage, and SS division would always have 1 more battalion of artillery as well compared to a regular army division. I think that was more just because the SS they could get that. Opening up, they're blasting away and getting them caught out in the open. Oh, artillery knocking out several grenadiers and stormtroopers. Lots of artillery, the base is under fire in fact. Again, I think a Stug or 2 could help, and thing is to note, the Stug also gets damage bonus like it gets against the Sherman against the Firefly, and the Firefly actually has less health than a Sherman, so a few Stugs could in theory actually quickly knock out a Firefly. Pag also joining in. There's actually a bit of a problem. The German base is under heavy artillery fire. We are seeing the Grenadiers moving in. Stormtroopers providing covering fire if possible. Stack and they're arriving to be a nuisance. Sniper fire, rifle grenades.
Base is under enemy fire.
Bloody close to hitting one of the snipers right there. Armored car covering the north here. Sappers getting caught and gunned down. But we are seeing a staghound response. Oh, snipers has to be careful. They could be covered. Oh, right there. Careful, Darealslimshady. Careful. 4/6 men now. Whoops. Slight problem right there. I do have a delusion. I seem to be a master of cinematography. I certainly do like just looking at it from different angles, a bit more cinematic. Storms without getting pinned. Grenadiers are moving in to try and save their brethren. Well, the armored car is losing, and we are seeing Tigers now being available from the 101st SS Schwere Panzer Abteilung. Staghound moving in. Not really much to stop it though. Of course, the Tiger could do the trick. Grenadiers need to retreat. And Staghound has managed to put itself into a corner as the Tiger arrives. And there we go. There's also the Stu 42, which is interesting enough also there. A bit of veterancy could be a nice idea by now to increase, you know, the health of the Tiger, but also the Stu 42, of course, give it a machine gunner to help against British infantry. Actually, a wounded has been picked up by the casualty claim station. Interesting, interesting. Of course, now the pack actually needs to be closer to the front line to help against that Tiger. Because, of course, they fancy some problems in the shape of a Tiger tank. As for the Tiger tank, well, there were actually two models sort of proposed. There was one by Henschel, which was the one, but also one by Porsche, as you know, the ones that make all the fancy cars today. Ferdinand Porsche, the founder, was great friends with Hitler. And there were even some of the failed Porsche designs actually were allowed into the fight for the Germans. The rest were converted into the Ferdinand, later known as the Elephant, which is in combat use too. So again, a bit of little fun history right there. At least I think Ferdinand Porsche was the founder, I might be wrong. Artillery running against the troops, and they do manage to get away without really suffering much, but still a good idea to get away. Tiger might want to be positioned a bit more gracefully, and of course note, in Communist 2, there is actually a reverse button, so you now can actually order them to reverse to a position without actually, you know, having to constantly click at a certain pace. So that's actually going to be a bit nice in that sense. I'm sure some people will be quite pleased. But yeah, there was also a Porsche version of the Tiger. Again, most were converted into Ferdinands. A few were used as Porsche Tigers, although not great numbers. British infantry sneaking about here. A few more Fireflies will be needed to actually take on the Tiger sort of sufficiently. And he's... what is he doing? Don't move in the Tiger. Not unsupported. So not without veterancy 2. We actually seen veterancy 3 for the infantry. I think veterancy 2 for the armor is a bit more important when you have a Tiger on the field. Also, I mean, again, Brits with demo charges can also be used to clear out those things. I mean, demo charges were not just, you know, for blowing up enemy buildings. They were also, you know, meant for blowing up, you know, obstacles like tank traps. So again, you could try and also use them for that, you know, for future reference. Armour car suffering a bit there, though. Lots of British armour car, lots of British infantry moving in, trying to go for the cut-off point again, I think. Tiger, they're moving in. 3 snipers moving in, but they are in this sort of a position where they will need to retreat through the British war host. As they are charging in madly, and then charging away madly. Making a very heroic charge away from the enemy. I suspect a descendant of brave Sir Robin is leading this force, leading a very brave retreat away from the Hun. And artillery beginning launched in huge amounts. German infantry suffering. Oh dear, just so much artillery. And the Tiger's also suffering. The Firefly's not far away enough to actually avoid being hit by the Tiger. British infantry continue their advance, and another Fireflies arrived alongside Staghound's pack also moving in from the rear. Tiger is finding itself surrounded, and the snipers are getting hunted down as well. Stu 42 caught off guard. Oh my dear, this is essentially divide and conquer. He's managed to actually cut off Darealslimshady's forces from each other. So that's actually pretty nasty. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Might actually be time to have a look at the British forces again. Sometimes I do forget the timing of it all. And those few seconds where they're sort of like, who's next? And the Tiger is down. My goodness, the Tiger is down. That is less than good. Sniper's getting caught as well. Volkswagen squad could be going down as well. Armored car went down to Panzer Rex, but the snipers again are in trouble. British are charging in. And they're getting fired on by... Oh, the Bren guns! Sniper down, and another... Oh, 2 snipers down. Absolutely horrific. 1 sniper retreats, Grenadiers holding out. Pack recruit by German infantry, but for how long? And another sniper in trouble. And had that gone as well, that would have been 1,000 manpower just down the drain. Stu 42 though rolls in now with the pack secure. And no longer British. Good shot right there by Fraps again. Happens from time to time. Whoops. And let's try again. Pack suffering and the crew is dead. Oh, direct hit on the Sturmhaubitze. Definitely not good news for the Germans. Bridge is getting ready again. The Firefly and Die need repairs. And the Germans are generally in a bit of trouble right now. Have taken heavy losses, though they're still pushing on. And I think 1 anti-infantry upgrade for some either Stormtroopers or Grenadiers would be a nice idea to help with deal with the British holds. Another repair sapper section is up. Sneaking in from the north with a minor assault.
Ready for action. Keep your bloody head down.
Grenadiers moving in. And a bit of sniper fire. There we go. Tiger arrives, sending the recon section running in fear.
An ammo storage facility is being...
Trench going down there to protect. Sniper almost down. Oh! Dear, oh dear. That could have been very... Armored car, though, heroically rolls in, tries to cover its sniper comrade, and apparently succeeds. And another trench. Grolouragran certainly loves his trenches. Perhaps he was even conceived in a trench for all I know. Brits are suffering a bit now. Though we are quickly seeing the Firefly roll in to try and deal with that pesky German armored car. We're quickly also seeing a Bren section hiding in the trench with a lieutenant. Looking most heroic. As removed as possible from any direct fighting. Stormtroopers arrive though with an ambush and they miss. But the Tiger gets the main gun. Pack also joins in. Now they just need a bundle grenade into the trench. Firefly down. Generally though, you would see Fireflies generally though being in support by Shermans. I mean, that was rather how they worked in a Sherman platoon. You'd have 3 Shermans and a Sherman Firefly. So actually rather interesting they went for the Cromwell, but not the British Sherman. Might have certainly caused some problems with people saying, oh, why couldn't you use this and that? But in another sense, it would have fitted rather better with the Firefly, I think. Further attempts to dig out the Brits are now ensuing. Volkswagen's getting run off with some nasty losses. More Fireflies joining in the fun. And these Volkswagens might be in what you call a bit of trouble. But there we go, the Brits are finally dug out of the trench with enough high explosives, and a Firefly gets Stormtrooper in return. The Germans are rather overextended though, have to be careful. Again, another hit here could really cost them some trouble. Too much land to hold, not enough troops to really sort of establish a proper defense. So this is definitely something he has to be careful with, lest he fancy getting thrashed. Granted, of course, he could also just try and make one fist and then just hammer his way and try and knock out this area. And so far he seems a bit more cautiously caught up in the defensive, not sure probably of how much resources the British players left. And I fear it might actually have been the veterancy free lieutenant which went down right there. That's actually a huge blow to the British. Another Firefly joins in the fun. Volkswagen's once. And looking back at does Darealslimshady, grenades hit, kill a bit. Though the health bonus, of course, with veterans free, do provide a nice bonus. And we are seeing a manpower blitz up. He's got also tons of munitions. He's now also got tons of resources. Now he just needs to use it quickly, swiftly, and efficiently. Stormtroopers now charging in again, though he's not really getting them any great anti-infantry upgrades, which is not necessarily helping much against the British infantry. And the armour clearly can't quite keep up. Firefly not quite getting any hits though from the Panzerschrecks. Snipers on the way. Tons of manpower being floated as Stu-42. Some veterancy for his tanks could also be an idea. There's plenty of options. He just needs to use the resources. Now he has them. And artillery going in against the pack. This is less than fortunate. Will the pack manage to get out there in time? A rather explosive exit. And we are in fact seeing veteran D2 for the armour going in. Stormtroopers under fire. Panzerschrecks. Feuerfrei. And we are seeing the two Fireflies supported by ample British forces moving in. And we are seeing a button down attempt right there on the Tiger, making it a much easier target for the Fireflies. Tiger should generally not have been so close to the buildings. And not without infantry support either. And we're also seeing an attempt moving in for the snipers. Artillery going in, and the bunker actually going down finally. Looks like the unit went down. Pack, though, was clearly gone. Bunker's Pioneer dead. Staghound charging in from the flank. Tiger just getting hammered with fusillade after fusillade of Firefly fire. Staghound, though, goes down. Brits going down to sniper fire. Tiger almost gone. Recce section moving in, but I fear it might get sniped. Tiger out of control. Now, of course, the Fireflies running into all the Panzerschrecks. Still a bit of a loss, though at the same time one he can quickly replace, but still that's already another Tiger down. Not necessarily a good record. At the same time a nice attempt here, but oh dear, Slimshady, you left behind a gift for the British, a Panzerschreck. Back in action, the Grenadiers are getting hunted down, almost dead in fact. And the lonely Tiger rolls in, though veteran D2 is definitely helping a bit. And he can soon get another manpower blitz. Fighting continues despite problems with fraps and other fun things. And again, my apologies for any technical difficulties, of course. Staghound getting hunted down. Tiger moving in for the kill. And what is this? Airburst shells going in on the snipers, killing both. He actually got two snipers. Oh dear. That was definitely not good for the Darealslimshady. Probably also a bit unexpected. But trying to hunt it down, of course, he could go for Blitzkrieg, of course, to increase the rate of fire of his tanks. Panzerschrecks hammering. Tiger needs to get behind the building, otherwise the Fireflies can still hit them. It's Staghound down, artillery against the stormtroopers in the building. They get out in time. Good time, in fact. And quickly rush into it. Panzerschrecks flying through the air. Small assault, small force sneaking in to try and probably hit any troops on the retreat. Stormtroopers getting called in. Infantry section moving in, equipped with the latest in Panzerschreck technology stolen from the Germans. Going for the victory point, trying to contain the victory point drain. Another veterancy 3 lieutenant, though he is rather exposed. Very close to death, very close. He's going in for the point, but he could go down any second. One errant shot, one sneeze. Could see the lieutenant dead. And in fact, that's just what happened. Tiger almost down, though, getting kind of down by the Fireflies. Another push right here. Staghound rolling in. Stormtroopers trying to keep it at bay. Though they only have one Panzerwreck at the moment. And the Tiger is almost down. Almost. But the Fireflies are forced to pull away in the nick of time, since they are themselves heavily damaged and cannot survive another Panzerwreck or even a Panzerfaust hit. And another manpower blitz goes up for the Darealslimshady. Main gun destroyed. And Overwatch might save the day. Or fly completely wild. But it looks very nice. That's for sure. Rather interesting, it seems to be firing all the way over there. And there. Wonder if they'll have airburst shells in coming of his too as well. That would be fun to watch. In particular with all the new effects they're promising. I mean, already the screenshots we are seeing at the moment are only DirectX 9, even then I'd say it certainly looks better than the first game. But I mean, we've yet to see actually all the DirectX 10 and 11 effects, which should certainly also be much, much more impressive to look at. And well, the Tiger is still there, although heavily damaged. Staghound will be going down again, going for the sort of divide and conquer maneuver. Which is definitely how he wants to run it. Should be running it. Tiger enemy hit from all sides. Panzerwreck's moving in. Staghound main gun destroyed. Come on, Panzerwreck hit. Get the Tiger. Button down, going again for the victory points. 39 points left. Very dramatic. Stormtroopers are moving in. Another Panzerwreck, but it doesn't penetrate the heavy armor of the Tiger. Panzerwreck's arriving to deal with the Staghound, which is now his enemy. Oh, Tiger down! Another Tiger down. I'm starting to think the real Slim Shady is going to have a bit of an explanation problem for high command. How many Tigers did you lose? I mean, that's rather the sort of thing that can end you up in a bit of trouble. Main gun destroyed. Infantry section getting heavily suppressed by a freshly arrived MG-42. More artillery arriving. Direct hits while sniper fire going in against these Grenadiers. And another Tiger arrives. My goodness. A lot of Tigers, and the Fireflies are still getting repaired. Dire need of it, in fact. Might be an need to actually try and help with it. And that's a bit of a nice surprise for the Staghound, though the Tiger just keeps advancing. He could catch those sappers out in the middle of the road. Negative come again, makes for easy targets. No. Not sure what's going on with the Tiger there, although of course now the Fireflies are the ones separated, but at the same time the Tiger's caught in between two of them. Needs to get back safely. No idea why the Darealslimshady just charged it in there without absolutely any support. It's almost down to half health already. I would actually say that was a pretty daft maneuver right there by the Darealslimshady. Tiger arrives, opens up in the 5. Oh, it doesn't even hit. Slight damage to the rear, but that's about it. Might be close to getting one, but of course there's still the other one. Of course, if he could get off a blitzkrieg, he could probably knock the other one out by simply being faster and shooting faster than it. So that could work if he does decide to use... Oh, damaged engine, never mind. Never mind. 24 points left, though, for the British. 22. Tiger's rear armor is heavily damaged, and it is need to retreat into the bunker. Staghound's in the base, killing Germans indiscriminately. A great blow to the hands right there. Tiger is down, tragically enough. Another one. Lost. Stormtroopers caught in the middle of everything else, and we might be seeing artillery against the German base.
In the perimeter. Our base is under attack.
Yes, indeed, but the Germans are managing to get away. Good troops of the 12th.
Territory.
Which is a bit helpful. Well, there are still Staghounds who cause enough troubles. In fact, 3 are out. He might be going for another manpower blitz to try and get him out of his British-related woes. Another retreat. And manpower blitz. Calling in another Tiger. Another Tiger. I believe he might be up to 5 or 6 Tigers.
Ready for orders.
Stormtroopers and Grenadiers also moving in to provide support. A rather extensive force. Staghound gone, and another Stormtrooper squad arriving to sneak in here. I mean, the British defense in the west are actually pretty slack. I mean, the British player is slowly getting ground down himself. And he's actually much more keen now, so that actually allows the German player to sneak up there, which could in fact work to the advantage of the Darealslimshady. If he can just cause another loss of some sort and just get those victory points back for a short moment, he might be able to win the fight. Quickly rushing into one house, that's good. Excellent, excellent. Nice hit on the Staghound. Might be an idea to move from this house to the next one. Only one Firefly left, which is definitely not going to be necessarily good against the Tiger. Staghound gone, though. Getting caught between too many Panzerjacks. Stormtrooper sneaking in. Actually, a mine there. Nice move by Grolouragran. Gun. There. And another Staghound bites the dust. This could, in fact, be the end for the British player. More artillery. Oh, I think that's a creeping barrage. Sends the Germans moving way to the next point. And moving in for both victory points they can, which are not being hammered by artillery constantly. The remaining few infantry troops are moving in to try and contain all situations, but they might not be enough. In particular, with so few victory points left, he needs to capture something soon enough. Already one victory point in the hands of the Germans, and there we go, moving in. But at the same time, he mics himself up for a bundle grenade. So close to his own mine as well, in fact. This could work absolutely fiendishly, and there we go. Mine goes off. Stormtroopers get the kills.
An entire unit is KIA.
And an entire unit is KIA, as the announcer glumly reports. 9 points left. Staghound charges in. But it's not enough. All 3 victory points are German, and the Darealslimshady comes up with a wow. Been a rather intense fight, and there we go. Game over. A loss for the British, a loss for Grolouragran, a loss for the Commonwealth, and of course a victory for the Darealslimshady and his troops. I mean, it was rather close fought. I think the major problem was there wasn't any sort of regular immediate armor, and the casualty station might have wanted to be a bit closer. And definitely all those trenches right there might have been a slightly more dubious idea. And finally, he might have, done well with at least, a machine gun emplacement just covering this area. I mean, had he had that, that would have required more armor fortresses to be diverted towards it, which again could have worked to the advantage of the British player. And again, had he just perhaps, augmented with a few more emplacements here, there, perhaps another casualty station, he might actually have been able to win this. But this was again rather close fought. Certainly, Darealslimshady should have been a bit more careful with his Tigers. He threw them away too many times, and probably could have won had he, perhaps used them a bit more properly with some blitzkrieg and perhaps some Stooks in support. But there you go. Always easier, to say things like that when you're the commenter. But there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Bill Dane saying cheers.